has contributed to nation building. Mr. Speaker, in 2021, when His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo nominated him for the Finance Ministry portfolio, this House had to wait because he indicated he was unwell and seeking for medical treatment outside. Mr. Speaker, in fact, when he even came, he was the only minister that his vetting took 2 days. And in between, this House indulged him to enable him take some break, to enable him proceed with his vetting. Eventually, he left government as a cabinet minister. And Mr. Speaker, for the records, on the 2nd of January 2025, he wrote to the then Chief of Staff that he needed to travel to Mayo Clinic in Minnesota, USA, for some medical procedure. Mr. Speaker, after President Mahama had taken office, he again wrote to the current Chief of Staff in a letter dated the 22nd of January 2025, indicating that he would again be absent from Ghana for the same purpose. Mr. Speaker, in fact, in the said letter to the Chief of Staff, he attached a letter from the hospital that he was seeking treatment. Mr. Speaker, indeed, the OSP wrote to him on the 24th of January. In fact, this is the first letter that he received from the OSP. Mr. Speaker, in the said letter, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta instructed his lawyers to respond to let the OSP know that indeed he was out of the jurisdiction seeking medical treatment. Mr. Speaker, what happened yesterday by state security operatives must be condemned by all of us. Honorable John Jinapor has narrated his own ordeal, but the records of this House will confirm that when that happened, Right Honorable Speaker Okwe condemned that act. If indeed something had happened yesterday, it does not mean that we should continue today. Mr. Speaker, I have heard human rights activists, respected lawyers for that matter, quote Article 18 of the Constitution to say that that is not applicable in this case. Mr. Speaker, I beg to submit that that was a wrong appreciation of the law. Military men led by Mr. Richard Jakwa unlawfully entered the premises of Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, searched his rooms.
Honorable Minority Leader, the unlawful entry is by your own determination.
Mr. Speaker, you know that by virtue of where we sit, we are able to do some background check before we come here. I wouldn't want to mention names, but Mr. Speaker, when inquiry was made, Mr. Speaker, when inquiry was made, it was obvious, and I stated for emphasis that those officials from the state did not have any warrant. Mr. Speaker, we should not encourage such an approach. We should not. Our democracy.
Daddy. that this I won't say then a bad reaction in come.
No, got the evidence, Bia.
Yes, we talk about the issue or radio on the crab up on the except we miss that to you. You said, yeah, Nipa of the Pontian only, Nipa only a by about as well. A boy, a Pontiac catastrophe, and a bay, a family fund. The still a mepe. Nipa special prosecutor and now independent attorney general on share by himself. Now we be obedi Bonibia obedi me. I didn't a family question. So I am the constitutional amendment. No, ne da da. Enti ebra nanado shise special prosecutor. Nanka mrema no kura se obetimi a constitutional amendment no. Na ya gina so appointed independent attorney general. Ba no ya kan esa na enye de botani se o kwoti akata se na ne botani se obey bibi e dia bribri amanfo ani so se o kwoti akata se no proye na ono kasa ni se enti a o se no entimi enye entimi eni na wanti enye de na okokoye special prosecutor odun 20 million obiano enti na na the planning a constitutional amendment and so why you want because on paper obi benya ahodia or the backward yakata system for it and was said that yes but opeto bribri among for nisoni who say many abra or quality answer or facilitate corruption ya amend the constitution no Kwabia Tilewa betumi ayemra ama special prosecutor atumi prosecutor bi. Enti tika yese no special prosecutor jino ni mo bia no. Ehu ni mfaso anka ninche na mo yente ya daje wo baabi a lebe separate attorney general and minister of justice no. Na yenya attorney general ojina de nanso Onya minister bia permission sana wadi obi akokoto a eno no betimi akwonti akata se me proye na fi yemra no ye de kwonti akata se me proye no so eno so yen system na yen define ade a eye corruption a eye charge a etimi di bonipa pesia me nyele ni die but ma hu say charge pa you take me the aboni pa say ni pay corrupt no ebi ni Ghana mrabia mu
oh sir
you never came one ye Ghana for ye dey say we corruption di an odu court wa either say better say stealing and after causing financial loss to the state na corruption kasa no and said that mean definition bi awo ye mrabu. It is the day you say corruption. Corruption has not been properly defined. Chargeable offense, it may be charging pa. So, at the prosecute corruption also. As I say, I need define and also. Then we are different from ordinary cases here. The court, in the court, and rather. Tabo ho SSC itimi technicalities na dia de ni nyina yi free ho na yetimi yenti e chimi pa no se wa ye gidim ni kata se sha field e bia bo so me enai bo so me miensa na edi na se mo wi na asofie ho ho ye dia man na e ko jaima la ya for ni technicalities ya MPNum Efiencia na nipa ba for case wo court entimi ko ba bia among our Bukuti Akata, the Senate, and one more special law dealing with corruption, no, and they find a castle prosecute and contempt. And when he said, yes, yes, making Panua, yet did no, as I did not offer normal lengthy procedures, I had to prosecute corruption, and they are for you could see where they are. Not let the American.
Okay.
And when we are constitutional amendment now, Ebema Kwayamia independent attorney general, we are professional prosecutors, and one man office of the attorney general. We are young Rafufra, yet defining corruption, and the procedure. Yet the prosecute corruption. A stringent.
Wow.
Maybe a magic.
Now,
Constitution. It is a camera. We are cut corruption cases in Milano. Then farmer regional tribunal. Let tribunal to also war. Procedures, yeah, one would be the afternoon 10. Relative, Nina, ya catty free ho. Na ya data cases, you know. Emma or one. The really say, ever contempt. What would you be a period now? Be our own catcher or coapilia? The prince and Robert Qua, hopefully prison one of the quality. And now, options is soon, Tribunal says. Do a crap, lead by gaining options, near deal. What do your mind is speaker? A dear 100 million. Opa, Fabra. Nayanki was so careful. They were how of fact that the cow was the one that feed the abba. Or feed the bunny and sucker. Men in the piano can you now are not breathing crowd, say and sucker is sicker.
Annie.
Because the Nipano got two prisoners. What I could tell the name and everything was prison house. She can't only know so often. And the enemy, your options here. You get to me, and you should not have been mistake. You're recommending to know. Principally, they are reforming the Nipano. You did say, they are the habit today at the scanner or Maria be prepared. No. Dear. I said, Nicobiamo. Now, I said, me copra, the mamma will be a me, I said, me quality architect is any prayer, and you are meeting. And ye buy it. Your master will be a obey dream, a tear or mine. Now, and someone, I told you, so, yes, and so I can't tell myself. Nipano, only bonnet now person shall attempt on the swap. No, over China, Cotiberia. It is said, yet the political hatred, the crap for you be not a Cotiberia. No, Nipa, it is giving no the number. Near coaching Nipa only a bonnet. And it is a cassette. From no child, young independent attorney general. Onu de oni obi afa obi obekye no bi ano wadi boni na assembly printer and this obi pochi obi onye boni te o che no dia balance niema na onu ti achire no obi boni a da bia ha te tu si ma bubu ani so am ye wulu de obi boni an kasa ebi na e what might you be? On ye na Yajanunti, and now for you, I say, I would see Netiaka also, very agent. Then the Pablo Chano, independent attorney general, only will be our firm. And all the Obechoa, the India, what you know, what you will be a person. Now, what you will know the Wafa, I should not mean. Coca, Nina, etc. The decay, abide here, Nepal, Fourth Republic, waba na eni bosome mienu kura watimi apaw ni minister fo nyina ye ebi mada ibe president Mahama ya abanye ni wa council of state election oba eni bosome mienu ya ya entende su yesu e omoso enti nyema na ekoto eni kwanya onfaso eye ni nyema no o de toto ni first term na oba na utu say we no akonya experience pa o de ye adwuma no enya dia wo di abrokra